Hello everyone, welcome to this tarot reading session which I am doing for anyone who's interested in getting a message for them. I'm doing a session after quite some time, a public session, and incidentally I got drawn to do this session because of the Saturn retrograde which had been in effect since the past few months and which just ended in fact. I'm not really an astrologer and I'm not really too deeply knowledgeable about all planetary influences, but I am drawn towards this stuff and I do read up about it. In any case, I'm sure all of us know a bit about Saturn. We know that Saturn is supposed to be the hard taskmaster of the planet. Saturn is the planet which makes sure that we do the hard work which we are needed to in order to learn our karmic lessons, our soul lessons, in order to be able to move forward. It ensures that we get fairness for whatever we have done, whether it's reward or retribution. It ensures we get whatever the results or the consequences or whatever it is that we have sown. So whether it's breaks or whether it's bouquets, we get whatever we deserve. And Saturn is not really a negative planet as believed by some. It is a hard taskmaster, it's stern, but it also is a very fair judge and a very fair overseer for people who have nothing to fear from it, for people who have done their work, for people who stand by what is right, for people who believe in integrity, for people who believe in values, for people who believe in doing the right thing, the honorable thing, for people who believe in being fair towards others and towards themselves. So if you have nothing to fear in terms of your character, in terms of the actions you've taken, if your soul, your conscience feels clear, I think you really have nothing to fear, because whatever lesson Saturn will make you go through, you can be sure it is only for your highest good and it's only to make you reach a better place which you truly deserve. So I'm sure the Saturn retrograde which was going on for the past few months, in fact since April, had lessons for most of us. It affected all of us in some way or the other, whether we were aware consciously about this fact or not. So this is a great way to find out by picking up a pile which you are attracted to, whether it's the pile with the purple amethyst or with the blue stone or with the pink crystal, whichever it is you're attracted to. You can just take a moment, look at them, close your eyes, go to the space of silence within, or call upon any divine power that you believe in, or connect to your higher self, and then open your eyes, and without taking too long, just select the pile which you're attracted to and wait to hear your messages. And I hope that these three piles which I have drawn after shuffling and asking the question do hold a message which resonates in some way or the other for whoever is attracted to these piles. The question that I asked was, my first question was, what is the major lesson that you were meant to learn during this or through this Saturn retrograde which had been going on for the past few months? And my second question for the oracle card, which is in green, my second question was, what is that major lesson or that major thing that your spirit or your highest ancestral or angelic guides wish you to be aware of or mindful for now in the coming few months post this retrograde? So take your pick and let's begin with the messages. Alright, now for those of you who selected pile 1 with the purple stone, these are the messages for you. Now for the first question, which was, what is that major karmic lesson which you were meant to learn through this Saturn retrograde of the past few months that had been going on since April? Now you have drawn the Hermit card, which is a major arcana card in the tarot, which just means that it is a major life lesson. So a life lesson which will continue to repeat throughout your life unless you learn it and you learn it well. So make sure to understand this about the major arcana and the Hermit card here which you have drawn. Now the Hermit card is a card, as you can see very well in the imagery. Hermit is someone who's a recluse, who stays in solitude, usually out of choice. So the Hermit card is an indicator for you to go inwards into the soul, to learn your lessons, to find the solutions, to seek your answers from the place that lies within you, right inside you, instead of being constantly dependent on external solutions, external choices, and external factors. So the Hermit card is a major indicator that deep soul lessons that you need have to come from the space within. You need to go within. You need to go to the space of silence which lies within you. You need to also practice a lifestyle which allows you that place, which allows you solitude. So this might also be guiding you towards meditative practices, or some practices, something which takes your focus from the external, something which affords you that space of aloneness, of solitude, where you can truly connect to your higher self or to your inner self and reflect upon whatever answers it is that your soul needs for you to receive. So the Hermit phase can continue for a long time, sometimes for years, sometimes it can come and go in phases. That is for you to know in your individual case, but this definitely was a phase where Saturn meant you in some way to feel solitude, to be a kind of recluse, to experience aloneness, a sense of alienation, which might not always be negative. It might be really important for you to discover a lot of insights that you need to shed light on major issues in any aspect of your life. So the Hermit phase, the Hermit card is about that. And if you see the Hermit, he's holding this light. So that light is can be interpreted in many metaphorical ways. So just one way is that it's shining light upon what lies inwards, what lies inside, the hidden, what can only be accessed when you reach inside you, and what cannot be answered from just being externally focused or outwards focused, as most of us often tend to be in this modern world. We fail to look inside, and we're seeking all the distractions and all the answers in a very short-sighted way through the externals. This will not do during this phase. This will not do. You would have in some way been led inside, or you would have seen situations being created where you would have been forced to find your answers through introspection and to ways deeper than just being externally or outwardly focused. So this asks you to let go of outer distractions and to focus on inner work. And the other card, which is the Oracle card, the Ancestral Oracle card, which you have drawn, interestingly, to the question, what is that major thing or major lesson that your guides, that your highest guides, ancestral guides, or angelic guides need you to be aware of now, post this retrograde, for the coming few months? And for that, you have drawn the Moon card, which is very interesting because it says, take note of intuitive messages. Now, the moon is always about going inwards again. It's about intuition. It's about letting light fall on the dark places. It's about revealing secrets which lie buried deep, and light falling on those dark areas, and truths being discovered and uncovered. So this is again a message which totally resonates with your first card, I would say. And very interestingly, in the tarot, the moon is also a card which is a number 9, because it's card number 18, and that's again a 9, and you see the 9 on the Hermit card also. So 9 is a number which is really resonating, and it's about these messages here is for the next few months. You again need to be aware of being connected to your inner self, being aware and being connected to your intuitive self, being reflective, allowing answers to come from a space within, and a lot of dark areas in your life and a lot of unrevealed solutions will now be revealed to you, and light will fall upon a lot of things, but you have to allow that to happen. So that was the message for those of you who chose group number 1. Okay, so now we have pile number 2 for those of you who got attracted towards it and who were intuitively guided towards this. Now, in answer to the question, what is that major lesson that you were meant to undergo or learn through the karmic Saturn retrograde of the past few months, you have drawn the Knight of Pentacles. And I would say this is really about learning patience and learning perseverance to whatever it is that it points out to. It might be about some project in your life, about something which really matters to you, about some creative endeavor, about work, about something which really matters to you, about building up assets, about because pentacles are often about your resources, your finances, your security needs. So whatever it is specifically pointing out towards is some way it's related to the earthy aspects of your life, the financial or the security parts of your life. What exactly it is, you would be more aware about that. But this is always about a slow and steady approach. So you have been, if you are someone who's been impatient, who's been in a hurry and who likes to quickly jump into things or be short-sighted and be impetuous or impulsive or all of that, it's very likely that you have been taught lessons in having to be patient and perseverant. And even if you haven't really enjoyed those, circumstances might have been such that you have had no opportunity, no option but to have to wait it out, to be more patient, to be more stable, to jump less into things. So you have had to learn those lessons. So because it's been trying to teach you that a lot of value lies sometimes in things which are worth developing, in things which are worth gaining, which are truly worth gaining. They don't always come quickly. They don't always come through shortcuts. There is sometimes no other way but going deep into them, being aware, being mindful, being patient, being perseverant, being also optimistic and being dedicated. And sometimes they say like slow and steady wins the race. So sometimes winning or arriving somewhere or really getting to your goal or really accomplishing something does need dedication and patience and a more practical and logical and realistic approach. So if you are not too good in those departments, it's very likely that you have been guided or the hard way, probably again and again, or through someone else in your life to be this person and to follow this more methodical and more steady and more reliable and more patient approach towards accomplishing whatever it is that you really wish to accomplish or that really means a lot to you. So in order to gain that stability or security, to arrive slow and steady but in good shape. Now for the question for which I've drawn the oracle card for the next question, which was, what is that message which your spirit or your higher angelic or spiritual or ancestral guides wish you to be aware of? You have drawn this very light card in comparison, which is the summer card, the summer oracle card. It says bask in joy and light, so which is such a lovely message to have after the kind of heaviness and the slow and steady approach indicated by the first card. But all good there, all for your highest good. So in a way, this second card means that now you're being guided to take it a little light and go easy after what might have felt a little heavy for you, and things might have felt too slow for you, but they were only working out right for you in order to prevent you from taking hasty actions. So now you're just being asked to take it light and take it easy and probably enjoy some of the fruits which are coming in or which will come in the coming few months through the labors or the efforts or the dedication or the hard work that you have put in. So enjoy those things and be aware of opportunities, be aware of your own creativity. It might be at a high point of the inspiration of the things which are inspiring you, because whatever is inspiring you, whatever is inspiring your creativity right now might have messages for you, and you might do well to pay attention to that. So enjoy, take it easy, enjoy the labor, the rewards of your labor, and it's really a light and inspiring time for you. So that's the message for pile number 2 at this point of time. All right, so now we come to the final pile or the final group, group number 3, And if this is the one you have chosen, here's the message for you. So for the question that, the first question that I asked, what is that major karmic lesson? What is that major lesson that you were meant to learn during the Saturn retrograde of the past few months? You have drawn the Four of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles, as I was just talking about also for group 2, Pentacles is usually about security in some sense of your life. It's usually to do with resources, if not just pure financial resources, then resources which lead you to feel secure and abundant and well taken care of in life. Earthy resources, resources of health, well-being, security, finances. It's about feeling secure and comfortable. So this card here, in context to that question about the lessons you learned, to me it feels like it could be either of the two lessons now. It could either mean that you need to be guarded about your resources. You were led to be, the major lesson which you learned was to be more guarded and more responsible about your resources. It's possible that you've been too lax, too careless, taken your resources or your finances too much for granted, or allowed others to take them too much for granted, perhaps been too over generous, or there have been others who've made use of your resources or your generosity. So you've been guided to be a little more practical, a little more prudent, a little more watchful, a little more cautious, and a little wiser and more guarded and more reserved about, also not just about your resources, but probably what you discuss about your resources or finances or where you invest them. So just to be generally more, have a little more cautious approach. On the other hand, it could also mean that you have been over prudent, over cautious, over guarded about your resources. You probably, it's possible you've had miserly tendencies, so you've been hoarding, you've been a hoarder, hoarding and holding on tightly to your resources, to your money, to your things, to assets, to possessions, to things like that, and you are now being guided that that is not for your highest good. You really need to let go. You need to learn the lesson of letting go. You need to learn the lesson of allowing those things to actually create value in your life, and value is not created when you are just a hoarder, or when you just simply accumulate things to hold on to them or put them under lock and key, and not allow them to give you a good use in your life, or not, or also not be generous with them, with others in your life who deserve your generosity or who are dependent on those resources. So this could also be about, if you have that tendency of hoarding too much, being too guarded, too cautious, too careful, and over analyzing, and just you need to let go, and you need to really let go of that tendency and take it easy, and you are being taken care of, and the universe does have your back, and you need not be so scared and so guarded and such a big hoarder all the times. Probably explore deep inside, what is it that causes you to be a hoarder? What is it that deep inside, what fear is it that causes this tendency to you? So it could be either of those things, as I said, either being asked to be more guarded and to be more responsible with your resources as compared to what you have been, or to let go and take it easy and not to be such a penny pincher or a hoarder or an accumulator. So whatever you would know in your case, whatever it's been that you've been guided into, and you would know that. Even if it's not obvious, you would definitely, if you think about it, you'll know. The other card which you have drawn, the Oracle card, which is for the question, what is that major lesson that your spirit or your highest guides or ancestral guides or spirit guides or angelic guides wish you to be aware of now post this retrograde, and which they wish you to be aware of for the coming few months? Now this is the Mirror Guardian card, and it's a beautiful card which says take time to reflect. So take time to reflect means just that. Whatever lessons you have learned in the past few months of the retrograde, now you're being asked to hold a mirror onto them, to learn, to contemplate, to reflect about those lessons, to what you have learned. And as I was also talking about this Pentacle card, that whatever it's guiding you to, it's about something which is coming from within you, whether it's the tendency to be a hoarder or whatever it is, it's pointing out to something inside you which you need to be aware of, as most lessons usually do. They are pointers to what lies within us. So the mirror guardian guides you to reflect upon yourself, reflect within, and to take stock of all the lessons you have learned, all the challenges you have overcome, the struggles, and everything that you have learned through them, what they've guided you towards, including knowing about yourself. So to be able to do that, and also to be able to pat yourself on the back if you really feel that you have, come out stronger through those lessons, come out wiser. So whatever lies inside you is reflected outwards in your life. That's the major message of the mirror, or always it reflects whatever lies inside. So the mirror guardian asks you to take stock, to reflect, and to become wiser from it, and also give yourself due credit where you truly deserve that credit from all that you have learned. So these are the messages for group number 3. So well, those were the messages for all the 3 groups, and I hope that the group which you selected really did have some message which resonated with you. Even if you felt it did not immediately make sense, which usually will not be the case, even if you feel that way, tarot messages sometimes come back and they make a lot of sense in retrospect if you give it some time. So even when you might not be thinking about it, it might just suddenly come up and click and make sense, and you might just realize, oh, okay, I see what that meant, or okay, I now know how it resonated or related to me. So that could be the case. Just remember that this was a general reading, and this was not a customized reading. In customized reading, I tune into a specific person's, the questioner's energy. And always remember that tarot readings are for a general bird's eye guidance, and they're not always lessons set in stone. And whatever they are meant to guide you to is always meant to be for your highest good, even if it's something which you do not like hearing. But it's usually what is meant for you to hear. So well, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope to be able to do another one for you guys soon. Till then, take care and have a great, enjoyable rest of September 2019. Bye-bye.